Buildings and the construction industry are responsible for using up to 50% of raw materials, and embodied carbon in construction is responsible for 15% of world greenhouse gas emissions today. As more of the world feels the pressure to go green, the industry is turning its gears towards sustainable practices.
All materials contain carbon, and that carbon is what's contributing to climate change. So the choice that architects make in terms of which materials they choose to put in their buildings, that can move the warming curve either in a positive direction or a negative direction. The most sustainable building is the building that's already built, because that carbon cost is already paid for. So if we can use that, and if we can transform buildings that are already built and make them new again, that's a huge advantage in terms of combating climate change.
More architects, designers, and consumers are increasingly demanding sustainable and low-embodied carbon materials, spurring critical innovation in material sciences, manufacturing, and forestry.
Architects have always worked with materials based on availability, affordability, and durability. And then we work with those materials to make things that are functional and beautiful. What's changed is now we understand the impact of our choices on carbon, and because of carbon, on the climate. We recently did a building in New York City, David Geffen Hall, and the choice there was made to renovate the hall and transform it rather than demolish all the structure and start from scratch. Wood was used crucially for the acoustic properties of the concert hall. So there's new architecture built on top of historical architecture. It's got a very low carbon footprint because of the fact that we reused so much of the structure. So if you knew that you could help contribute positively to climate change by your choices, you would want to make better choices. That's why architects, and why I think many consumers and clients are making these demands and are interested in low carbon materials.
It's our responsibility to know the source of the products that we're providing, not only the region of their production, but also the ecologies, the culture, the production methodologies of our suppliers, and to share that information.
Now, the demand for sustainable and green materials is driving manufacturers and suppliers to innovate and offer products that meet these new standards.
Government says by the year 2050, we will be carbon neutral. So there is a race with manufacturers and suppliers driven by design, government regulations like the California Air Resource Board, and then to have benchmarks very much related to the LEED scorecard, Leadership in Energy Environmental Design, to achieve using less, saving more.
Greenwashing is the practice of using misleading environmental claims about products or services and using marketing to make unsubstantiated claims. Standards bring rigor, and our searchable, indexed digital catalog of the products includes various environmental standards and certifications that are available and allows customers to make informed decisions on the sustainable products they wish to use in their work.
There is a need for clarity about products throughout the building materials industry. Sharing and democratizing knowledge, combining information, offering user-centric design, and implementing new technologies are necessary to improve relevant decision-making regarding sustainable building materials.
Sierra Forest Products and our Canadian company Upper Canada Forest Products is a leading distributor of architectural building materials. We were an early adopter of FSC, which is the Forest Stewardship Council certification for chain of custody. And we're also very, very supportive of cradle-to-cradle transparency compliance, which is now a baseline for global trade.
When we talk to architects and interior designers about product selection, the metrics are not just give me something that fits what I'm looking for. It's a collaboration between all of the parties to achieve the design intent.
Wood materials play an important role in combating climate change by enhancing the way we build the places in which we live, work, and play, both in the high sustainability potential of the material itself and the wellness benefits of biophilic design.
Wood is at the forefront of building materials in the fight against climate change, and also of the additional benefit of providing biophilic qualities for enhanced lifestyle.
Current technology allows not only for an openness of information, but for the opportunity to design and structure experience flows that present relevant information to decision makers when they need it.
One of our goals is to continue to inform architects, designers, and end users of not only the natural beauty of wood, but its environmental qualities.
We were doing some work with the University of British Columbia. They had a project with the US government where they came to us and said, well, you want to use wood in the outside of the building. And they wanted something local, but they couldn't get something local that would still meet their criteria for lasting long periods of time without having to treat it or coat it. So we zeroed in on a product we work with called colored Accoya or gray Accoya for the exterior of this building that met all of the metrics, and it worked for them. We met all of the criteria for product selection.
The presentation, timing, and organization of material information is critical to ensure that all aspects of a material choice is understood, so everyone can play a role in creating a more sustainably built environment.
We recognize that facilitating the growth and success of our customers while also fighting climate change will require bold and ambitious strategies, and innovative wood products will provide the catalyst to that. We not only believe that these outcomes are possible, but codependent.
For wood to continue to serve as it's done for centuries, forests need to be managed sustainably. The resource needs to be managed in a way that doesn't burn it out. We can't afford to lose our forests. Forests are fundamental to the health of the planet, and they're actually fundamental to architecture as well. The two industries, forestry and architecture, are symbiotic. What's good for one is good for the other. And because of this, they have the potential to be an exemplary circular economy, something that is sustainable for the long term and continues to inspire us for centuries to come.